Okay, so it's 4:08 p.m. now, so let us start. And today's topic is NET. What is NET? Network Address Translation, right? Network Address Translation. Now, just tell me your understanding about network address translation. What do you mean by this term, network address translation? I don't want to hear any definition. I just want to know the understanding for this term, whatever you are getting on that screen. What do you mean by NAT, network address translation? Just dictionary meaning. That's it. No
Just
definition.
one thing, they're very simple words.
Mhm.
Okay. Sir, when you in your organization or wherever you when you in office, when
Mhm.
you check your if it's a private local
Mhm.
one, when you check your CMD, your
Mhm.
CMD and type your IP config, it will show your private IP is private IP like
Mhm.
10 dot something,
Mhm.
right? But
Mhm.
when you go to Google and search what is my IP address, it will
Mhm.
show your public IP address.
Correct. Very
So
good.
NAT's work is that whatever inside of your you can say office,
Mhm.
whatever the users are in your office, they
Mhm.
all are using private IP address from your and they are using your office network. But
Mhm.
outside, everybody's network is same as public IP address. So that is
Okay.
NAT does.
Okay, this is the, like, whatever you said, this is the process, like this is what which is happening there just because of net. I asked what is network address transfer, what is your understanding? If you are nowhere in the networking field, if you don't know, your mind is blank.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, to translate the address
Yeah, it's
in
it itself saying
translate
yes.
your
From
Correct.
private to public.
public IP. No, in layman term, as per your you are
Exactly.
asking.
Not private to public. I don't know. I'm a
Private to
beginner.
public, yeah.
I'm a beginner. I don't know what is
Yes.
private, what is public. I just see a term here on the screen, NAT, that is network address translation. What does that mean? That is translation of a network address. That's it, right?
Network address. Yes, yes, sir.
Now it comes like what kind of network translation is happening here. Then we will talk about private, public, or whatever is there. Then we will talk about that. But this term simply saying it means translation of a network address. Now why
Net-
it's required, how it works, we will talk it on later part, right? So nothing here, it's a simple word, NAT, network address translation. That's it. Done.
Yeah.
Now why NAT required and where we will require NAT and why it's important. Now I think Murugesan was saying something and that is correct. So as we know that in IP addressing we have two kind of IP address, private and public.
Public.
What is private, what is public, what is the difference? Private cannot be routed on a internet. Private cannot be routed on the internet. If we want to communicate on the internet, we will require the public IP address.
Public.
Okay. It itself saying private means your own, public means it's global, anyone, right? So private cannot be routed on the internet. No one knows which IP address you are using in your organization. If I'm using a private IP address like 192.168.0.0 network, the same network can be used by another organization just beside to me or anywhere in this world. Okay. So no one knows like which IP address you are using in your own organization. That is why private IP address is there. You can use the same IP address which your colleagues using in their own organization. Okay, if it's a private address. Now, in terms of public, it's a global. Okay, on internet, no one knows with your private IP address. Whenever you will communicate on the internet, every time if you will check your IP address, once you will go to Google and type "show my IP," it will not show you your private IP address. It will show you the IP address which had been provided to you by the ISP, right? Done? It's clear?
Yep.
Right. Now, what is the use of, or you can say like, if in terms of theoretical part, if I talk about theoretical part, if I talk about theoretically, what is net? The same thing which I explained right now. The first point we can explain it in the three way. The first point is private IP address cannot be routed over the internet. Okay. The second point, net means network address translation is used to translate private IP address into the public IP address. Okay. It means suppose if I am using, here is my home. Okay. If I am using a private IP address here, and if I want to communicate on the internet, I cannot. If I have a private IP address, I cannot communicate with the internet. I should have a public IP address. Might be possible that in my house I am using 4 to 5 devices, right? 4 to 5 devices. So each and every devices right now internally it's connected to the private IP address. But whenever we are communicating with internet, everyone is required a public IP address. So net is a process to translate the private IP address inside our organization or a network to a public IP address. It's clear? Done? Nothing to worry about that. Like, it's a very simple topic. It's a very easy and simple topic. So that is done. Now we have some terminologies. Whenever we will talk about net, we have some terminologies. So let us discuss on that first, and then we will come to the like practical or other theoretical part. So let me clear these things first. What are the terminologies which we use in net? Anyone? Those who have completed NetPet, do we have anyone who has some knowledge of NetPet?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are the terminologies which we use in NetPet?
Sir, terminology you are talking about, like which terminology, like type of net?
No, not type of net. Like terminologies means you can say there are some terms which you are like inside, outside,
Yeah, inside is
right?
inside, outside.
Okay, so there are basically four terminologies. One is inside, one is outside, one is local, and one is global.
Global. Global.
Okay, so these are basically four terminologies. If you talk about the dictionary meaning, we all know that what is mean by inside, what is mean by outside, what do you mean by local, what is mean by global. So here is nothing different from that. It's same. Now before I proceed further, I just want to play a game with you guys so that we can understand the scenario over here. Okay, I want, okay, right now I have, let me check, 15 members in this group. Okay, live. So I want 3 or 4 members. I will divide a two team A and team B. I want 4 guys along with me. Okay, I will be a member of team A. So I want one second. I want 4 guys with his nickname. If your nickname is different from your real name, just raise your hand. My nickname is Chotu. My real name is Krishna. Okay, now 3 members I need with your nickname. If you have any nickname different from your real name, just raise your hand. Say yes, my nickname is this and my real name is this. Come on, guys. Everyone has, yes, him. What is your nickname?
Hemu, sir.
Huh?
Hemu.
Hemu. Okay, very good. Hemu and Hem. Okay. Now we two are in team A. Now for team B, I need two people. Himanshu. Yes, Himanshu. What is your nickname?
Sir, Anshu.
Anshu. Okay. Anshu. Nickname is Anshu. And real name is Himanshu, right?
Yes.
Now, anyone else? Chandrasekhar? Indrajit? Yes, Chandrasekhar. What is your nickname? Chandu.
Not Chandu. Yeah, Chandru.
Okay, Chandru. Okay, it's a common. Okay. Chandru and Chandrasekhar.
Chandrasekhar.
Now, okay, so guys, tell me one thing. My nickname is Chotu. Okay. Entire family know me with the name of Chotu. Whenever I'm going outside my house, okay, people knows me with the name of Krishna, right? Whenever I'm going outside my house, no one knows me as a Chotu. Everyone knows me as a Krishna, right? Same is with Hemu. The nickname is Hemu. Whenever he's going outside his house, everyone knows him as a Hem, right? The same is here as well. Ansu, nickname, real world, people knows him as Himanshu. Chandru knows as Chandrasekhar, right? Now, if I talk about the terminologies, okay, we will have 4 terminologies, including this 4 thing. One is inside local, inside global, outside local, and outside
Global.
global. Okay, if you talk about the theoretical part in the books or the books definition, it is very vast. Every time you will be getting confused, what does it mean? But if you think like this, it's a very simple. Now, inside local, if I am inside my house, local people knows me as a my nickname, right? So you can say, if you want to make a note, you can make a note. It's a simple way. It's a very simple definition as per me. IP address before translation is known as inside local address. With before translation, before I am going outside my house, the IP address, whatever my name is, that is inside local. Okay. If you want to make a note, just note. IP address before translation is called inside local IP address. Inside global, whenever I am going globally, the inside IP address, whenever it's going globally, then IP address after translation is known as inside global. Simple meaning, no rocket science. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can understand it. Simple word, right? Inside local, IP address before translation is inside local. IP address after translation is inside global. The same is with outside local and outside global. IP address of external network before translation, it was outside local. Whenever for me, for this family, I am the inside and this family is outside. So him, if I talk about him, if Ansu is talking to him, so I know him. So the inside local IP address, the inside local name is him, inside global name is, sorry, Hemu, and the inside global name is Hemu. For him or for me, outside local name of this system or this person is Ansu, but the global name of that person is Himanshu, right? The same is here. IP address before translation of an external network is called local outside local, and IP address of external network after translation is called outside global. Done? No rocket science, it's a simple thing. Everyone? Guys? Any confusion here?
No.
No confusion? It's a very simple, right? Okay, now let us come to the next topic. Here we have how many kinds of net we have. Okay, this is the terminologies we will, once we will configure, we will check like how the IP address is translating, what is inside local address, what is global inside global address. So we will check that. Now let us come to the next topic. So what is this? Am I audible, guys? Himanshu is saying like voice is not coming
Yes,
properly.
sir. Audible.
So voice is clear, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Voice is coming.
Himanshu, please check your setting, brother. I think there is an issue with from your end.
No, no, sir. It's audible now.
Okay, it's audible now. All right.
Yes.
Okay, now, so how many types of net we have?
Static, dynamic, and net pet. Pet. Sorry.
Static, net,
Dynamic.
dynamic net, and
Pet.
net overloading, which is known as PAT. What is PAT? What is PAT?
Port address translation.
Port address translation. Very good. Now, what is the difference between net, static net, dynamic net, and net overloading?
Sir, in static net, one-to-one is one-to-one mapping. One private IP address is netted to one public IP address.
Very good.
And in dynamic net, there is a pool which is mapped to the public IP pool.
We will come into the like that part of
Okay.
what is the functionality later on. But every time, whenever I ask anything, just with the terminology, so that any person, like whoever is beginner, can understand it in a easy and simple way. Static net, the word static itself saying that manually, right? So you will configure manually. That is means 1-to-1. Done. Dynamic means automatically. So wherever dynamic word comes, whenever automatic word comes, like in DSCP, every time you will see the same phenomena, same work process. That is, there is something, a group, the people will use that automatically without any manual intervention. That is called dynamic, right? So for that, we will create a pool of public network, and the private IP address will use that public IP address from that particular pool. Just like in DSCP, we were creating a DSCP network, and we were giving like the PCs can get the IP from this IP to that IP. Okay, so just like that, everywhere, whenever you will go, wherever in the terms of networking or anything, dynamic means automatic. The concept would be same. No changes, never. Okay. So static means 1-to-1 everywhere, wherever you go, and wherever we will check, the concept will be same. 1-to-1 manual intervention means static. Automatic means dynamic. Okay, it's done. Now, net overloading means PAT, port address translation. You can say static as 1-to-1, dynamic as many to many. PAT means you can say
Many to one.
many to one. As simple as that, right? 1-to-1. Any confusion is this in theoretical part? Any confusion in this? I will come and I will configure and you will understand in a clear picture. So while configuring PAT, there is two concept: many to one or many to pool as well. Okay, many to one and many to pool. Okay, so there are two concepts for PAT. We have many to one. You can translate thousands of private IP address into one public IP address. Okay, or you can purchase a group of public IP address and you can translate the private IP address from that particular pool. Okay, done. Now the question is, what are the advantages of implementing NAT? What are the advantages of implementing NAT? Guys, your term now.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, the advantage is that the shortage of the public IP and public IP, we need to purchase the public IP. That's why.
Okay, very good.
If we use everywhere the public IP, then it is very critical.
Exactly. So suppose in my organization, I am using say 500 PCs. If I will try to communicate with the internet with all 500 public IP address, I will have to purchase the 500 public IP address. And if that would be the scenario, the IPv4 address should have been sorted many years back, right? So just because of private IP address, still we are using IPv4 address, and we are in the situation to use the IPv4 address today as well. Okay, so yes, this is a valid point to conserve the private IP address, correct? To conserve the private IP address or the public IP address, right? Whatever. Now this is the first advantage. The second advantage is anyone just use your logic. Anyone? No? Yes, the main logic is to save the IP address, but it also hides the IP address, because if I am using, okay, if I'm using a private IP address, as we have discussed in the previous slide, so if I am using a private IP address, the same IP address can be used by different organization, because no one on the internet knows that this IP address is like usable in how much organizations. Okay, n number of organization can use the same IP address, same private IP address in their organization, right? So basically it's hiding the private IP address. No one knows publicly like what are the IP address you are using in your organization. Okay, so these are the logic. You can say what are the advantages. Whenever you will get any kind of question, the logic would be the same. Okay, if you will go to the theoretical part, there will be 5 or 6 advantages, but the concept would be same. The meaning of same statement, every statement would be the same. Okay, now let us come to the configuration part. Okay, or before that, let us discuss on the disadvantages of the NAT as well. What are the disadvantages of NAT? Disadvantages of NAT, guys. Just apply your logic. If I am a person, I am communicating with anyone directly, it will be much easier than to use a interpreter, right? If I'm saying him, I don't know his language. So if I want to communicate with him, I have to use my language to these people, and he will translate and inform this guy. So what will happen if this What is the difference between this and this? Simple logic. This will take more time to express your expressions or to communicate with or to say anything to this guy, right? It will take lot of time in comparison of this. Correct? Correct, guys?
Yes, sir. बिल्कुल.
If I am talking to anyone directly, in comparison of that, if I'm using an interpreter in between, it will be difficult, right? So you can note it down like this. NAT introduces switching path delay, okay? Because router will process and translate the packet, then it will forward it to the external network. So it will take a little bit time. So network address translation introduces switching path delay. Okay. The second thing, if I and you are known to each other directly, we can trace you directly. If I know you, I can trace you directly. But if I'm saying something, router is converting and then he is forwarding it to these people. If something will happen, is it possible for him to trace me directly? No, because he don't know me. He don't know me, right? So the second point is that loss of end-to-end IP traceability, because I am the local private. He is on the internet. On internet, no one knows the private IP address. Okay. Everyone knows the public IP address. He don't know what is my IP address because I'm private IP address. So it's not possible for him to trace me. Okay. He can trace the public IP address through which he's getting the packet, but he cannot trace me because I am the inside network. Okay. So the second thing is that loss of end-to-end IP traceability. Done. So these are the basic disadvantages. It makes a delay. The second is traceability is not possible. Okay. So this is the two disadvantages of NAT. Now, let me come to the third point. Okay. So we already discussed on types of NAT. Now, if we are doing NAT, okay, if we are doing NAT, how much space it requires in memory for netting? It's an interview question. How much space it required in memory for netting? Anyone knows? Anyone? Guys? No. Answer would be 160 bytes. Okay. Please make a note, everyone. This is the interview question. Okay. Now, let us open the packet tracer so that we can configure that. People are getting scared in remembering the commands. Okay, the things that there are lots of command, how to remember this, how to remember that. Okay, for NAT there is only one command. If you will ask me honestly, there is only one command to configure static NAT, dynamic or NAT overloading. Okay, so no need to remember multiple commands. There's only one command. Okay. So now we are going to configure the net. So first of all, we will configure the static net, and the topology would be like mm, this would be my internal network. Okay. And this would be my external network. Okay. So I will use private IP address here 192.168.0.0 network. This would be the public address, public network. So 172.45.0.0/16. Okay. Now, first of all, we will configure static net, and then we'll come to the dynamic net. The only command which I was talking about, the only command to configure net is IP net inside source. After that, that will be your choice. So this is the only command to configure net. Now everything will be your logic. No need to learn, no need to uh, give any extra pressure to remember anything. Okay. Now let us come to the configuration part first, and it's a very simple topology, so it will not take much time. Done. So let me configure it. It will take hardly 3 to 4 minutes, not more than that. Two five five dot 255.255.0 no shut IPDSCP pool LAN network 192.168.0.0 255.255.255.0 default router 192.168.0.1. Okay, done. Now int z0/0/1 IP address 172.45.0.1 255.255.0.0 no shut IP DSCP pool when network 172.45.0.0 255.255.0.0. Okay, default router would be 172.45.0.1. Okay, let us check if I'm getting the IP address or not. And then done. 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 None. Okay. Now, the first one is static net. Okay. First of all, if you will see here, like I am using the private network here. Let me draw it here. This is my private address, private network, and see this. This is my public. Okay. Now, this is the edge router. Whenever you will configure NAT, every time it will be configured on the edge router where it is connecting to the internet. Suppose in your organization, you are using multiple networks. Here we have a network, or you have a different branch here, or you have multiple routers, and all the routers are connected to each other with the for the intranet, and there's a main edge network which is connecting to the public network. Okay, so you have to think logically, who is my edge network which is communicating with the external network, and you have to configure net on that particular router. Okay, now I'm just assuming this is my topology where I am connecting with a router which is directly connected with the external network. Okay, ISP have given me a connection over here. He has given me a public IP address on this interface, and on internal network I am using my own private IP addresses on different PCs. Okay, no confusion in understanding this, guys? No confusion?
No, sir.
Great. Now, if I'm talking about static net, it means we know that manual intervention is required. We have to configure it manually, right? So suppose if I have 3 PC, I want to translate every private IP address into a public IP address manually. Okay, then I have to purchase 3 public address. Suppose I have purchased 3 public addresses: 11.1.1.1, 11.1.1.2, 11.1.1.3. Okay, now, or you can say like I have purchased a network which is 11.1.1.0 slash 2729. Okay, so I have got a group of network from 1 to 7, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. I have got 7 IP address. If I talk about this network, the network range will be from 11.1.1.1, sorry, from the network range will be from 0 to 7. The valid IP will be from 1 to 6, right? No confusion in this. So I have purchased a group of network, a network group where I am getting 6 IP address, 6 public IP address, so that I can translate my private addresses to the public one. So to configure that, we have to go to our edge network, edge router. Let me clear the screen here. Okay, now the first thing which we have to do is we have to inform the router that who is your inside network, who is your outside network. Okay, so this interface Z0/0/0 is my inside network. Okay, int Z0/0/0 IP net inside. Simple command, no confusion. int Z0/0/1 is IP net outside. Done. Simple command. First task is done. The second task, global configuration mode. I'm going to configure static net. So I have to manually decide which IP will be translated into which IP. So IP net inside source. As I told you that this is the only command. Yes, this is the only command. IP net inside source. Now, question mark, you have two options, list and static. So as we have discussed that we will have a list when we will have a pool and we can translate it manually, mean dynamic network address translation. Right now I am doing static, so I will inform one by one manually. Static means manually, right? So IPNet inside source, as you type the command static, it will understand, okay, you are doing to static, it means you will have source and destination, or like you can say inside IP address and the outside IP address. You already have that, right? So as you can see here, like it's showing the local IP address. Inside local IP address, what are the local IP address you want to translate? Okay, what are the local IP address? So we have 192.168.0.2, 0.3, 0.4. So I want 192.168.0.2. My inside local IP address is this. I want to translate this IP address in what? Just look here. Inside global IP address. Inside global IP address. So this is the nickname. This is the nickname of this PC. If it will go to the external network, I have a list of IP address. You have to decide this IP address will be known as which IP address, the inside global IP address, right? So my parents decided my name when I was infant as a Chotu. When I grew up, whenever I was ready to go to the school, they have decided that my name would be Krishna in my school. So the same thing you have to do here. The local IP address is this. Whenever it's going to the outside of your network, outside the home or outside the local network, you will be known as 11.1.1.1. Done. Done. That's it. This is static net. Okay, the same. I have decided 2 as 1.1. Let us decide for 2, 192.168.0.3 would be known as 11.1.1.2 and 192.168.0.4 would be known as 11.1.1.3. Okay, done. Now let us try to ping from here. Ping 172.45.0.2. It's communicating. Now communication is not the big deal. Let us check what is happening at the back end here. To check the translation, we have a command show IP net translations. Okay, here we have this thing. Come to this. Okay, one second. Come to this once again. Let me do the regular ping. It's running continuously. I'm just going here on this PC. I'm also running ping -t for continuous pinging 192.1, sorry, 172.45.0.3 for here. Ping -t 172.45.0.4. Now come here. Okay, again, so IPNet translations. Here you can see protocol. What are the protocol? As I'm just pinging, so it's using ICMP protocol. Now inside global address is this one. Okay, 11.1.1.1 port is using 10. This is by default features of Windows. Okay, so it creates a socket whenever you will run any session or create any session, it will create a socket. So this is the port. Okay, now the IP is 11.1.1. The inside local address is 0.2, means 0.2 is globally known as 11.1.1. The outside local is 2 and the outside global is 2, means this is the public address, so no need to translation. So this local and global, outside local and outside global is the same, right? Once you come here, 3 192.168.0.3, this is converting into 11.1.1.2, right? Once you will come to the 4, you can see here it is converting into 11.1.1.3. Okay, so this is static net. It's very simple. Again, you can see here, right? Now if I talk about port number, how many ports we have total, like at a time, how many devices can communicate externally, how many ports can be created at a time? Anyone? Guys, any idea? Anyone?
No, sir.
Those who have completed NET or PET? No idea? There are total 65,536 ports. Okay, so it can be like at a time 65,564 36 ports can be created. Okay, so if you check here in static net, that is not required. Once we will come to the PAT, then you will understand the importance of this, that because at that point of time, because right now if you check here, every single IP is mapping with the different one and the port is different, because no need for the same port because the IP is different, right? For 4, just look at 71, it started with 71. Just for 3, it is reached to 117. For 3, 82, 84, 84. So it is creating, like every IP is creating their own ports because it's not overloading. That is not using same IP address, so the port is different for every IP address. Okay, now any confusion in static net, configuring static net? It's very simple. Let me write it down here. As I told you, there is only one command for static net, dynamic and net overloading. There is no different command, only one single command, IPNet inside source. After that, you have to judge what are the requirement. You have to apply your logic over there. Okay, now, so what we have done here, the first thing was I have gone on this interface. I said IPNet inside. On this interface, I have given IPNet outside and IPNet static, IPNet inside source static, and then I have started I have informed the router that what would be my private IP address, like inside local, and what would be my inside global IP address. That is the syntax. That's it. No confusion in that? No confusion in that?
सर
Yes.
सर ये 11 वाला नेटवर्क तो आपने कहीं कॉन्फ़िगर नहीं किया हुआ?
नहीं, वो तो मैंने परचेस किया और मैंने इन्फॉर्म किया, मैंने परचेस किया ग्लोबल।
सर जैसे लाइव नेटवर्क में तो ऐसा नहीं होता ना सर?
लाइव में ऐसा ही होता है भाई मेरे।
लाइव में सर मुझे ये जो है जो पब्लिक आईपी मैंने परचेज किया वो इंटरफेस में डालना पड़ेगा ना सर, इनसाइड पे आउटसाइड पे दोनों जगह?
स्टैटिक
राउटर जैसे मेरे एज राउटर जो है मेरी कंपनी में लगा होगा ना सर?
देखो
भाई मैं, हाँ
एग्जैक्टली जो बात आप कर रहे हो, ठीक है, वो बात कर रहे हो आप। सिंपल सेम चीज समझ सकते हो कि आपने कॉन्फ़िगर नहीं किया। आपने मान लो कि आपने आईएसपी को बोला, आईएसपी ने एक कनेक्शन आपको दिया, उसने आपको एक नेटवर्क दे दिया, सेम इसी आईपी को मान लेते हैं, ठीक है,
/30 दे दिया, मान लो /30 दे दिया,
बिल्कुल 30 दे दिया आपको। कितने आईपी? यू विल हैव 2 आईपी एड्रेस,
2 आईपी, हाँ
राइट। सो यू कैन configure 1 IP address over here, and the second IP you will use to translate. If you have a server inside your network, if you want to dedicate a public IP address to that server, then you can translate. For internal networking you will use private network, but globally suppose अगर यहाँ पर एक सर्वर होता, ठीक है, वेब सर्वर है, अगर ग्लोबली लोग उसे एक्सेस कर रहे हैं, inside we are configuring private IP address so that everyone can communicate with each other, right? But whenever someone is coming to my network, this server should known as a public IP address as well. So हमारे पास दूसरा जो IP होता 172.45.0.2/30, ओके, ये IP हम इसको डाल देते, ठीक है, मतलब IP net inside source, this one, and the inside local IP address would be the IP address of this server, and the inside global address would be the IP address of this, whatever I'm getting from the ISP. Okay, that we will come into that, but that is for the dynamic. Basically, just to understand, if you have purchased a network from ISP, how to translate, I use that simple IP address. That's it. Okay. Any confusion in that? No confusion. Okay. Now let us come to the dynamic one. Okay. अच्छा, ये command तो समझ गया everyone? Inside there will be only 3 commands. IPNet inside on this interface, the inside network, the outside network, IPNet outside, and to configure in the global configuration mode, IPNet inside, source, static if you are doing static netting, and then the inside local address and inside global address. That's it. Okay. Now let us come to the dynamic one. Let me remove. Okay, so to check, you can check it from here. Okay, we are having many entries over here. You can see IPNet inside translation, because ping is continuously going on, so you can see like going here, going. So to clear the translations, what are the command we have? Clear IP net translation asterisk. Yes.
जो अपना 11 वाला नेटवर्क है वो परचेस किया हुआ है, ठीक है?
सॉरी,
11 वाला जो नेटवर्क है वो परचेस किया हुआ है पब्लिक आईपी,
बिल्कुल।
तो पैकेट ट्रेसर में इंटरनेट से होता नहीं है, तो वो डिटेक्ट कर लेगा, ऐसे लाइव में हो जाएगा, बट ये पैकेट ट्रेसर में हो जाएगा।
नहीं समझा नहीं मैं, पैकेट ट्रेसर में ही हो जा रहा है, लाइव में आपको स्ट्रगल हो सकता है, बिकॉज दैट आईपी इज नॉट कॉन्फ़िगरिंग एनीवेयर. Whatever him was asking, his question is, if I'm not configuring anywhere that public IP address, because right now I'm not running any routing protocol as well. So if that IP is not configuring anywhere and not in the routing table as well, how will the external network will understand about that IP, that network? Him, is it the question, right? Correct? So अभी आप जो पूछ रहे हो वो ये पूछ रहे हो कि पैकेट ट्रेसर में काम नहीं करेगा, रियल में काम करेगा, या फिर पैकेट ट्रेसर में काम कर रहा है, रियल में नहीं करेगा, क्या पूछ रहे हो?
ऐसा नहीं, पैकेट ट्रेसर में नहीं करेगा और रियल में हो जाएगा कि लाइव में नेटवर्क में है।
हाँ,
बट पैकेट ट्रेसर में 11 वाला फीचर है, आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन ही नहीं और इंटरनेट में भी ठीक है नहीं।
यहाँ पर just try to understand, in this scenario, whatever the topology I have taken here, let me check here. I have not used 2 router, I have used only 1 router. That is why routing protocol is not required here, right? Router has the information of this network and this network. Router has the information about 192 network and 172 network as well. But 11 network I have not configured anywhere, not in the router, not in the routing table. Okay, but why it's working? Just because every time packet is coming to this router, packet, because there are no multiple routers. Okay, whenever this network is responding to this network, packets are getting to this router, and router has the information that that particular packet should be translated to which network. Router has that information. That is why. But what will happen if you will have multiple networks? Let me draw a topology here, then you will understand. Okay, what will happen? Suppose if you will have this kind of scenario, what will happen? My IP is 192.168.0.1. Okay, this network is says 11.1.1.1 or 0 network slash 30, and this network is 172.45.0.0 slash 24 say. Okay, whatever. Now if I will configure the routing protocol, what will happen? In this router, I will give the information about this network and this network, right? On this router, I will give the information about this network and this network. If I purchase a IP says 9.0.0.0 slash 29, okay, public IP address. If I purchase this IP address, I will get the range of 9.0.0.0 to 9.0.0.7, this IP address range, because we have a jump of 8 over here. So I will get this range. The valid IP which I can use is from 1 to 6 from this network, right? If I can configure that this IP will be translated in 9.0.0.1. Okay, this router knows about this network because I have configured that in the netting, but this router does not know about this network. In that scenario, while configuring the routing protocol, you have to inform the routing table that this network is also there in my network. You have to inform the router, then this router will broadcast the routing table, forward the routing table entries to this router, and this router will understand, okay, so this network can also be reached by this route or this router. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes.
In packet tracer, not in packet tracer, in real environment also it will
Yes.
work if your topology would be the same. Yes. Anyone guys? Any question? Chandrasekhar? No? Okay. Now let us come to the dynamic part. Control second. Okay. Now for dynamic net. Okay. First of all, let me clear the, okay. I was saying that if you want to clear all the translations entries from here, okay, what is the command? Clear IP net translation and then asterisk. It will clear all the translations. Show IP net translation. Again, you can see it's starting from here, right? So the command to clear is clear IP net translation asterisk. Okay, done. So let me remove that configure terminal. Okay, to check the translation, to check the entries, do show IP net translation, sorry, statics. You will get the statistics, like what are the statistics and where it is, what is the inside or outside address, and show IP net translation done. So IP net statics, yes, both. Now let me clear the previous static translation. No IP net inside source static 192.168.0.1 and 11.11.11 What was that? 11.11 or 11.1? 11 dot
1.1, 11.1.1.1.
11.1.1.1. 2 was mapped with 1. Okay. 2, 3, 3, 4. Done. Now this is IPNet inside, this is IPNet outside, and no translation. Okay. Now if I'm going to configure dynamic net, the command would be same: IP net inside source. Then what? Just think logically. What are the requirements for dynamic configuration? It is required for list. Okay, list would be in the place of the inside local. Okay, if you can see here, it is saying specify access list describing local addresses, right? Means you have to create a access list which will describe your local private IP address or the network. Okay, now if I'll type here list, what will happen? It will ask me the same whatever we have learned yesterday, access list number or the name. So you can create name based ACL or the number based ACL. So it is not like you are going to restrict or something. You just need that access list for the translation purpose. So here we are using which network? 192.168.0.1. So our first requirement for dynamic net is there should be a access list. Okay, let us do that. Okay, now so it was asking for the access list. Let us describe an access list. So access list 10 permit. Okay, I'm going to create an standard access list so that the communication can happen. So I'm just going to permit a network inside network. Okay, the inside local network is 192.168.0.0 network, and the wildcard mask is 0.0.0.255, the entire network. Done. So access is done. Now again I'm going to type IP net inside source. Now I have a list. It was asking for the list. I have a list now. List. Okay, what are the access list number? We have a number 10. After that, what you can see here, interface or the pool. Okay, interface or the pool means what? Now the second requirement for dynamic net, what should we have? Either we should have the pool of a network range. Okay, the global addresses pool means you have a bulk or the group of public IP addresses in which the whenever I will try to communicate with the network, this PC will take automatically that IP address. Okay, I don't need to map manually, or I can use the interface. Okay, specify interface for global address, this interface. So as we know that dynamic means many to many. Okay, you should have the pool. If you are going to select the interface, on that interface we will have only one IP address, right? Not multiple. So that would be the port address translation, not the uh, dynamic network address translation. So in this scenario, when we are going to configure PAT, we will like assume that I will have a public address says 172.46, or just take the example of 11 only, 11.1.1.1/29. I have this pool, this group, from where I can use the IP address, the public IP address, to translate my private IP addresses. Okay, now let us define the pool. IP net pool. What is the pool name? What is the pool name? You can give any name. So I am just giving that pool name is, say, WAN 1. Okay, WAN. Okay, I have to define the network range as well. So IPNet pool WAN. The name of the pool would be WAN. Then what would be the start IP address? 11.1.1.1. This is the start IP address. What would be the end IP address? 11.1.1.6. Yes. Yes, saying something. Chandrasekhar?
Oh, no, sir.
Okay. Right. Now IPNet pool, the pool name is WAN. The start IP is from 1.1.1 and the end is 11.1.1.6. What would be the net mask for this one? What would be the net mask? Net mask 255.255.255 dot, say guys, what would be the net mask? 29-bit means subnet mask would be
248.
248. Very good. 248. Okay, done. So I have created a pool as well. Now let us check IP net inside source. I have a list now 10. I have a pool now. The name of the pool is WAN. What? Overload. We will not use overload in dynamic because overload will use the port number that we will use in PAT while configuring port address translation. Okay, so this is the syntax: IPNet inside source list 10 pool WAN. Done. Let us check now. Still the connectivity is going there. Do show IP net translation. You can see here. Okay, 1 second. Yes, so here you can see like 2 is using 1, 3 is using 2 and 4 using 3. Okay, what will happen? I have the range of 6 IP addresses. Okay, I have the range of 6 IP addresses from 1 to 6. If at a time 8 PC will try to communicate, what will happen? Let us check. Suppose I am going to add more 4 PCs here in this network. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I have the public range of how many IP addresses? Only 6. What will happen if at a time 8 PC in the organization will try to communicate with the network? Let me check the IP address. I'm getting IP address. Okay, it's still amber. Wait for some time, let it be green. Okay, one question here, guys. It's out of the topic, but still it's a very interesting question for you guys. Okay, you will understand what is happening here in this world. Okay, what is this IP address? I'm just leaving a question to you.
Apipa IP address.
Very good. Everyone knows Apipa, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a very interesting question. APIPA. Apipa. Let me check the name of the person who is giving the answer. Okay, who is saying that this is Apipa? Apipa.
sir.
Everyone, Apipa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you mean by Apipa? What is the full form of Apipa?
Automatic private IP address.
Automatic private IP address.
Automatic
Private IP address.
private
IP
IP
address.
address. Fine. Very good. Any different answer from this? Any different answers from this? No? No?
No.
Okay, good. Now guys, tell me the range of private IP address range. Private IP address. Just tell me the range of private address of each class. Class A, class B,
Class
and class A.
class A is 10 dot N.
10 dot
No,
0
no,
dot
sir.
0 dot 0 to
10 dot 250, 255.
10.255.255.255. Done. For
Yes,
class
sir.
B,
172.2
172.16.0.0.
02
75 31 dot
31
okay. For class C,
192 192 168 0.0 255 255.
then the private IP address range is this. How come 169 known as automatic private IP address? Any reason? 169 means it is a class B IP address, and we know that class B range is 172, private range is 172.16. Sorry, 172.16.0.0 to 172.31, right? This is 169. It means it's a public. Am I wrong? Class B public IP address. How come it is known as automatic private IP address? The best part is, till date, I also do not have any answer of this. Okay, because whenever I'm going to earlier, okay, to be very honest, whenever I was teaching IP addressing to your batch as well, in this batch, every time I used to say automated provided IP address, not private IP address. But unfortunately, this was my concept, which I was thinking, okay, from the day one when I started networking, okay, I always use my own logic, own concept. I know the private IP address range. This is not the private IP address. This is automated provided IP address just because DHCP is not communicating, right? It's not getting the IP address from DHCP. DHCP fail, it is getting the IP address automatically. So that was my logic. I was saying that it is automated provided IP address. Okay. But unfortunately, whenever I'm going anywhere, nowhere it's mentioned automated provided IP address. It's everywhere is saying automated private IP address, automated private IP address, automated private address. But there is no reason why it's a private IP address. If you guys will get any answer, please let me know. Okay, I did a hell lot of research, but I'm not getting any answer. So that is why I keep this question to you guys. Just research and let me know, because there is no sense to say 169 as a private IP address. Okay, nowhere in IP addressing it's mentioned that 169 is a private IP address range. We know that 127 is loopback. Okay, that is okay. That is why it's not considered in a class A or class B. 127 is a loopback defined by IEEE. That is different thing. 169, I have never read that 169 is a private IP address range or private IP address, but everywhere I'm getting the same automatic private IP address. This is just a bhendchal or any logical reason behind that. I'm not getting any questions, any solution for that. Okay.
प्रोग्रामिंग करने वाला भूल गया होगा.
हाँ,
प्रोग्रामिंग करने वाला भूल गया होगा शायद.
नहीं, अगर मैं गलत बोल रहा हूँ तो बोलो भाई. If I am
Correct
wrong,
है.
if I am wrong, please say yes, sir, you are wrong.
ना सर करेक्ट है सर, वो भूल गया होगा शायद.
So everywhere I use my own logic just to understand, is it correct or wrong? So as per me, this is absolutely wrong. If someone had decided the private range for class A is this, class B is this, class C is this, then how come anyone can say 169 dot something is a automatic private IP address? No sense, no reason, nothing. God knows. Okay, whatever. That is why I never say this as an automatic private IP address. I always say automatic provided IP address. If someone wants to debate with me, I can debate why it's a private IP address. Okay, that's it. Now, let us come to the topic again. So yes, I'm getting the IP address here. Now, let us come to this. Getting IP address here. Let us check this. And we are having like right now in this session, we have 17 people. I'm damn sure like everyone or like many of you are directly or indirectly connected with any teacher or any faculties or anywhere. Just put this question to them. Okay, just put this question, sir, what is APIPA? They will say automated private IP address. Just ask the question, sir, what is the private private IP address range of class ABC? He will say for A this, B this, C this. So there, sir, like if 169 comes into class B and the private IP range is from 172.16 to 172.31, how come 169 can be a private IP address? Okay, so why people say that? Just ask this question. I'm damn sure if there is a reason, 0.01% people will give you the answer. If there will be a logical reason, I'm not aware about that. If someone is aware, they can give the answer, but 99.99% is not aware. Okay. Okay, so I am getting the IP address here now. Now let me ping from here. Ping 172.45.0.2. Let me type -t over here. Let me copy this. But ping -t 172.45.0.3. कॉपी नहीं हो रहा यार. Okay, let me try from here. 172 dot ping 172.45 -t 172.45.0.4, and from here the same ping -t 172.45.0.2 again. Okay, now it is responding. Okay, it is responding. It is responding 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, now this is the 7. Let us check now. Show IPNet translation. We have lots of things. Let us clear once. Okay, so that we can understand. Do clear IPNet translation asterisk. Done. Now show IPNet translation 1 second. Okay, so here you can see like the 7 IP is taking 1, the 3 is taking 2, the 6 is taking 3, the 4 is taking 4, 2 is taking 6. Let me try once again here. Okay, 7 1 3 this 6. Okay, so as the 6 has been allotted. Okay, all the 6 has been allotted. 11.1.1.1 to 6. The 7th PC, whenever he's tried, okay, 1 second, there should be one PC which should be not communicate here. Okay, again, you can see here, earlier it was not communicating. I just cleared the translation. Then this PC was able to translate. Now this PC is dead. So it means first come, first serve. If this would be the condition in any office, what will happen? The manager will say, guys, whoever will come first, he will get the internet. Whoever will come second, he will not get the internet, right? So this is the demerit of dynamic net. Okay, let us try once again. Let me clear. Right now, this PC is unable to communicate, right? Let us check. Let us clear the once again. As I clear, I just started once again. Do so IPNet translation. Yes. Now let us check which one is getting. Still this is blocked. Clear translation. Okay. Still this is blocked. It means like, okay, let me terminate this one. Done. Let us check the situation of this. Is it getting that? Translation. Clear the translation. Done. Now it's getting, right? Because one IP is vacant now, this PC is stopped communicating. So this is getting now. Got the concept? First come, first serve basis. Okay, so dynamic net, if you have a pool, the person who will come first, he will get the first IP, the second IP, third IP, all the IPs engaged. Then if anyone will come, drop the packet. No access to the internet, right? Any confusion, guys? Any confusion?
सर अगर वो पीसी अगर वो कनेक्टेड है और उस पर सपोज कोई ऑपरेशन नहीं हो रहा तो ऑटोमेटिक टाइम वो कनेक्ट वो डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया किसी और को जो वैकेंट पड़ा उसको ऐसा हो सकता है क्या सर डायनेमिक में?
डायनेमिक में ऑटोमेटिक जब ट्रांसलेशन एक बार वो असाइन हो गया है तो आई थिंक देयर शुड बी अ टाइम फ्रेम आफ्टर दैट इट विल बी अलाउड. दैट इज व्हाई क्लियर command is there. You have to clear the translation, but about the time I'm not aware, like if there is any specific time, like how much time, after how much time it will be getting vacant and then people will be able to use.
Yes,
Let us try
like
once again. Okay,
कुछ ऑपरेशन नहीं हो रहा तो वो दूसरे वाले को अपनी आईपी उसको अलॉट कर
exactly.
देगा.
So let me try once again. Let me start the ping command once again because 6 IP is engaged now. Okay,
Yes.
so this PC is not unable to communicate. Now if I am clearing, then again I'm clearing, still it's not getting because every 6 is engaged now. Fine, still it's not working. Let me terminate one. Done. Wait for 5 to 10 seconds or 15 seconds, 20 seconds. Let us check. Let me check on the Google if there is any time or not. $60 seconds. Value applies to TCP port. This seconds 24 hours. Is it? Default time to clear IPNet translation automatically. Mm, 24 hours, I think. These entries have a default timeout value of 86,400 seconds, after which they are removed from the table. So it is 24 hours showing here. Okay, we cannot wait for 24 hours to check. Yes, so this is 24 hours. Okay, I think so. But in books, I have not found that. Might be possible. So it is a good question. You can make a note of it in the interview or the exam. It can ask. So the default timeout to clear the entries from network address translation automatically is 24 hours. That is 86,400 seconds. Okay. Any question? Let me clear and then try. It started pinging. Okay, I have cleared the command. Yes, I have given the command before. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so dynamic net is done. Any question from this? Static done, dynamic done. Any question from this? Guys, just to overcome from this, as I told you that for PAT, we have two concepts. Okay. Where was that? Yes, here. Many to one or many to pool. Okay. The same command, whatever you are doing right now, the same command, just only one word you have to add, that is overload, and this is done. This would be done. Okay, many to pool. We already have created a pool. We already have a list. Now, as I can see here, whenever I am trying with 7th PC, I have a pool of 6 PC, 6 IP. Whenever I'm trying with 7 PC, it's getting dropped. So just to get overcome from that, let me clear the net translation. No IP net translation. I have to give the full command. Do show run. This one. IPNet pool when this was the name of the pool. This was the command which I had used. So I'm just giving the no command to remove that. No paste. Pool when is in use cannot destroy. Okay, so we have to stop the process. Here, pool when is in use. Where is use here? I have do so IP net translation. Nothing is there. Then what's not getting removed? Pool when is in use. No IP pool when. 11.1.1.1 to 11.1.1.6. Net mask 255.255.255.248. It's not getting removed. Why? No IP. Okay, so IPNet inside source list 10 pool when. Okay, this was the pool. This was the command. Sorry, I was doing wrong thing.
No IP net.
Yes. So I have to remove this one, right? Copy. This is the pool which I have created. For implementation, I have used IPNet inside source list 10 pool and when. So I have to remove this thing. No. Done. Okay. So now I have a list. Do show run. I have a list access list 10. Okay, means I want to permit all this network. I have a pool of the public IP address from 1 to 6. Okay. Now I want all the PC to communicate with the internet using only these 6 IP addresses. In dynamic routing, what in dynamic network address translation, what was happening? If I have 6 public IP address, only 6 can communicate at a time. But in port address translation, everyone can communicate with the internet using that particular pool or a single IP address. Okay. Now let us say the command is same, IP net inside source. I have a list over here, list which I want to permit. Okay, list number was 10. Pool, here we have a pool name when, and now we have to use a word overload. Overload. Okay, only one word you have to add for padding. Okay, overload. Done. Now check. Again, I'm trying to ping the same. Then first used, second used, third used, crash. मत होना भाई. Save. Let me save this. Desktop net. Okay, third done. Fourth, what happened? Yes, done. Fifth, done. Sixth, done. And seventh, done. Everyone is communicating, right? Now let us check the translation. First of all, let me clear the translation. Clear IP net translation asterisk. Now show IP net translation. Look here. 4 is using 4. Let me try once again, then we will understand. Okay. Everyone is using 4, 3, 2, 7. Everyone using single IP 11.1, 11.1, 11.1, 11.1, 11.1, like 4, 4, 4, 4. Can you see that? Only the port number is different. Just look here. Okay. Let me clear the translation first. Every IP address is using 4, 5, 8, okay, 7. Everyone using the single inside global address, that is 11.1.1.4 with different port number, right? Whenever the global address is responding, you will consider, like you will observe that the same port number is being used by them to reply, to respond, so that router can understand through which PC I am getting that response, and then he will send the packet according to the port number to that particular PC. Okay. Now clear IPNet translation once again. Look here, port number, right? So we can use 65,536 ports at a time. Okay. Any confusion in this? So this is port address translation with a pool. Okay. Now, suppose if your organization has limited budget, if you do not have money to purchase multiple IP addresses, what will happen? In the normal maximum time, this is happening. Okay, many to one translation. Let me close this one. Okay, clear IPNet translation done. Show IP net translations, nothing, right? Now suppose I do not have any pool. Let me remove the pool. I have not purchased, my organization have not purchased any IP addresses. Okay, so let me delete the pool. Config t no IP net pool when is in use cannot destroy. Okay, first of all, let me remove that. Do show run. I'm using pool here, so let me remove this first. Increase, no, paste this, done. Now no IP net pool and done. Now the pool is not there, and I also have removed the translation entries from there. Okay, now this time I do not have any network range, any public network range. I have not purchased any network. I only get a network connection on my organization. ISP came to me and they have connected their cable on the router. They have given me only one connection. Inside, I am using my own network. I'm using private IP address. This is happening maximum time. Almost everywhere this is happening. If you leave the large organizations where the servers are required or anything is happening, on the normal daily basis life, if you are using multiple PCs in your home and all the PCs or the devices are connected to the router, and on that router you have one connection from the ISP, how all the devices are getting connected to the internet. So there net overloading is implemented. What is happening there? I got a connection here. What is the IP on that interface? What is the IP on that interface? Do show IP int brief. On that interface, I have the IP address 172.45.0.1. I am not bothered about what IP address I am getting or which ISP is there. Okay, anything. I just want to configure PAT so that whenever the IP will change, it will automatically take the IP address from that interface and then start communicating with the internet. Okay, so very simple command. I do not need any pool, but yes, I have multiple PCs. So I need access control list so that I can give that details to the configuration. So the command would be IP net inside source list 10, means I'm going to permit all this PC inside this network where, just look here, interface. I'm not going to tell what IP address you have to use. Whatever public IP address I'm getting on this interface, whenever the packet will go outside from that interface, that is the outside network, it will use that IP address. The people from different network will know me through that IP address because that is the public IP address which I have got from the ISP, right? So I'm using interface. Which interface? Which interface? I have Z0/0/1. Now overload, because I'm going to use single IP address for thousands of PCs. Okay, just this. Done. Now let us try communicating, 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 done, and done. Okay, now let us check the translation. Show IP net translation. Okay, look here. Every IP is using the IP address on that interface which I am using on the external port, right? Look here. 4 is also using 1. 3 is also using 1. 2 is also using 1, but different port, right? 8, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1. Everyone is using the same. Now the question is that if in case, what is the benefit of this PAT? Okay, what is the benefit of this PAT? If in case in future, suppose I changed my ISP, I changed the internet service provider, config T int z 0/0/1. I do not have no IP address 17. Okay, just leave that, no IP address. Done. Now I do not have any IP address on that interface. Packet dropped, everything is down, the network is down, right? Now the second ISP came and he is providing me the different IP address, which is say suppose 90.0.0. IP address 90.0.0.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, now because that IP is not there, this time because this network is different. So let me configure DHCP here. Or let us take the same example there. Okay, no, let me do in this way. No IP address once again. ISP came and changed my IP address. Earlier it was 172.45.0.1. This time I will have IP address 172.45.0.100. Okay, 255.255. What was the IP there? Yes, subnet mask 16-bit 255.255.0.0. Okay, this time IP is changed now, but the network is same. I just keep the same network just because I don't have to change the IP address once again. So this time again you can see as I change the IP address, now again this PC is taking show IP net translation. Just look here, earlier it was taking 1 here 1. Now as I change the IP address, automatically it's taking 100 because I have not defined that which IP address you have to take. I just defined whatever the IP address on the interface, you have to take that IP address. Got it, guys? Any question from this?
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
So I want to purchase one more service, but I don't need to disconnect that. If that primary goes down, it will automatic for the secondary.
No, right now you have defined what? You have defined this is your outside network.
Okay, sir.
On that interface, you have defined that interface. Whatever would be the IP address on that particular interface, the PC will take that IP address.
Correct, sir.
Okay. Any question or any confusion in this? Guys? So we have covered today static net, dynamic net, net overloading with a pool, net overloading in single IP address. Done? Done, guys? Pawan.
Yes, sir. The service part is, I can take one more service provider. I can configure to the here itself, right, sir? That using here
That
itself
is a that's a
secondary.
different concept. We will come into that later on. That is a different concept. For this,
Okay.
I have configured uh, net overloading through the port. Whatever the IP address on that port, it will take that IP address. That's it.
Okay, sir.
As simple as that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is done for today's session, and we have configured net and pet. So I will just create a assessment and give you the assessment on this session as well. If you guys have any questions, please ask me right now, or else we can close the session today. Okay.
Sir, these ports numbers are same as what are used in TCP like HTTP 80.
No, this is a different one. This is not registered port, and this is just a Windows service socket. You can say like Windows is creating a socket. Whenever the session is getting created, a port number is automatically getting generated just for the you can say sequencing. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Suppose if I'm sending a packet at a time, if I open a browser in my system, and in that browser I am opening multiple tabs. Okay. So whenever I'm opening a Google, a session is getting created. On the second tab, if I'm opening Flipkart, a different session is getting created. The IP of my system is same, but the request is getting with a different sequence number, the different port number, so that whenever the request will come to me, to my PC, through that port number, it will be decided like, okay, this request had been generated through Google. So when the Google server will respond to that port number, to that socket sequence number, it will decide, okay, now this request had been go to the Google web page. This request had been go to the, this packet had been go to the Flipkart packet, Flipkart. Okay, so according to that, you will be identify that, or the network will identify that request is coming from here, and whenever the packet is coming, I need to send the packet to which socket. That's it.
So for Linux and all, same port numbers are also different.
Sorry.
For Linux, its port numbers are different, right?
Yes, but the concept would be the same.
Concept would be same.
Concept would be the same. It cannot be possible like without port number, whether like you are using any operating system, the concept would be the same. It doesn't mean that if you are using different operating system, if I am using this 192.168.0.6 IP address without any port number or any sequence number or any socket number, it will be communicating with the public address. Every time, anywhere you will use, the concept would be the same. Okay. It should be some identification so that the packet can be identified, like the request is coming from where and I have to send the packet to where. It's a common sense, right? No rocket science. Any other question? Any other question, guys? No? Okay, thank you so much. So I'm closing the session for today. And if you still have any questions, the group is open, the group chat is open now. And I'm very happy to see like the activities, whatever is going there in the group. People are learning a lot of things. I'm getting the feedback from them. So that is why I'm not closing the group chat now. It will be open permanently. So if you have any doubts from any topic, whatever we have covered till now, just leave that in the group. Either I or someone who knows that, we will share each other's knowledge and we will get the benefits from there. Okay. Done, guys. Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So Stefan, Santamiz, Pritam, Philip, Pawan, Messi, everyone, no question. Close the session.
No, there's no question. The only, can you hear me?
Yes, Philip, I can hear you.
Okay, there's no questions really. I have done the topic before, so it was quite fine. The only question that I have, and that is the question is APA, which you were talking about 169. I thought that is just more Microsoft proprietary IP address that's just assigned and not necessary part of the pool, part of the private IP addresses. So it's just submitted by Microsoft. I'm not sure, but I just thought that that was it from my previous knowledge.
Whoever purchased that IP address, it doesn't mean, just try to understand. My question is whatever you are saying, okay, that Microsoft purchase and it's a proprietary of Microsoft. Okay, fine. If I purchase a IP address says 13.0.0.1, will it be the private IP address?
No.
My question is, we know that while learning IP addressing and subnetting, we know the private IP address range is for class A, class B, class C. It's a defined, right? Now, whenever I'm getting a IP address 169 dot something dot something dot something, it's a PIPA. How come 169 can come into the range of private IP address? Whether Microsoft purchase, whether Cisco purchase, whether Tom, Dick, Harry, whoever purchase, I'm not bothered about that. My simple question is that if something is defined as a private IP range, if someone has purchased, it doesn't mean that that private IP range is changed. If it is changed, just mention and let others know while learning IP addressing that yes, 169 is Microsoft proprietary and it is also a private IP range. Right?
Agree.
So I'm not getting anywhere that this 169 is a private IP address range because Microsoft has purchased this or someone has purchased this. I'm not getting anywhere like that statement. So my question is that.
Okay.
So, but still, whatever you said, I was not, to be very honest, I was not aware about that Microsoft had purchased and that is why the private IP is there. But still, if someone has purchased, still I have the same question. If someone has purchased, it doesn't mean that private address range is changed. Just clear this concept to me. Okay, my question is that. So if someone knows, just research on this. If you get any answer, just post in the group so that everyone can get aware about this, and also send me personally. Okay. Any other question? But thank you so much if you have research on this Microsoft. But yes, it's a valid point. Somewhere it's a valid point, but still I have the confusion on this. Okay, because it doesn't make any sense if someone has purchased and someone has purchased any IP address or any network range, that would be the private IP address range. It doesn't make any sense. If it's a private IP address range, anyone can use that.
Okay. Just one other question. What would be our topics for next week?
Next week, I'm planning to cover IPv6, but still it's not sure. I will check because I just, my target is to take the relevant topic. Yesterday, we have covered access control list. Today, we have covered network address translation, in which we have some relevant thing from access control list. So if you follow me, I always took that topics which is relevant to the previous. So I will check through this, after this topic, what would be the best for next week. If nothing is there, I will try IPv6. Okay, and then we will complete the automation and everything.
Okay.
All right. Any question? Any other question? No. All right, so I'm just going to close the session. Thank you so much, guys, for joining today's session. Once again, we will meet next week on Saturday, but that doesn't mean that I'm not with you anytime. Just if you guys have any confusion, ping me directly without any restriction. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye. Take care.
See you.
Love you guys. Bye.